3. And some interesting games this afternoon. Of course, this game here is interesting. But the other games in Division 3, South Belgrave and Ringwood. Ringwood just in front. Ringwood 5-8-38, South Belgrave 4-5-29. Venture Gully 6-4-40, Waverley Blues 4-8-32. Templestowe or Warrandyte. Templestowe 6-6-42 to Warrandyte 1-1-7. Baronia well ahead of Chirnside Park.
We might just come back to those scores in a second, Barry, because the quarter started and the Heathmont Jets have just marked inside the 50. Ben Abruzzi is playing up forward now, Dan.
Yeah, he's made the move, and he's got to go forward on a needs basis, it seems, because he was losing that duel with Bo Dowler. So Joel switched him up forward. We know he can take a grab, and we know he's a reliable set shot on goal.
As the rain really comes down with force, it'll be interesting to see if Abruzzi can make the distance. In he comes, just inside 50. The kick is high and up and under, but it's going to pop, falls 10 metres short. Brown was the flyer. The ball comes loose. Trying to snap around the body there was McIntosh. It goes straight up and down. Young does the roving now for the Jets. Drop the footy. Brown couldn't get through the Basin tacklers. And comes Odermatt. He couldn't do it either. And we'll have a ball up in the forward pocket, and the far forward pocket here at H.E. Parker Reserve. As the rain well and truly coming down with some consistency here at the moment. 2 points the margin here to the Heathmont Jets. Doing the ruck there was Abruzzi. It comes in late, trying to burst through there was McIntosh as Adams, excuse me, gets the foot to ball and puts up now inside the 50. Here comes Grierson, hands out now in front. Here come the Jets. It's kicked in towards the direction there of Knowles. Couldn't take it. Abruzzi, and well, we get a free kick, and it looks like it's going the way of the Bears. Holding the ball, says the umpire. And the Bears are going to get one here through Thompson.
Abruzzi struggles to get his fist to the ball sometimes when he's hand passing.
Short kick there, finds Edwards near side of the ground. Kicks this one in short, and well, dropped what he should have taken there, Cripps. And that goes over the boundary line. And have a boundary throw. Let's go back to the rest of those scores, Barry.
Yes, Baronia well ahead, 15-11, 101 to Chirnside Park, 1 behind, 1 point. And as we get over to Division 4, we'll get to that very shortly.
So English at ground level, he's been taken high by Adams, but the umpire says that's all fair because English went to the ground and Adams came over the top. Ball up about half forward for Heathmont.
These are the sorts of conditions that a player like Brent English would thrive in.
So English and Adams are pushing, but it's gone with Brown kicking forward for the Basin at ground level. Grierson does well at half back, so they load up again to Abruzzi. He's being held as he tries to maintain his front position. The umpire says that's holding, and it'll go against Watson. And Abruzzi, who we saw couldn't get the journey, so Shaw passes it underneath it. Nice mark by Young. Oh wow, 2 grabs, maybe 3, not awarded the mark as the defence came in late and bumped him off the effort. And I reckon Young had a fair chunk of it to be considered a mark.
Very stiff on that occasion, I thought, Ryan Young.
It nearly came down with him, but the umpire saw it hit the ground late, and he said, we'll play on from there. Abruzzi takes it out of the ruck. If he doesn't get rid of it, it's holding the ball. English is there to help him out. Abruzzi goes again. He just dribbles it accidentally with his foot towards the boundary line. That might be accidental on the full. The umpire's called it, and Jaden Brown was trying to escort it over the line, and he actually got his foot underneath the ball, and it's a free kick awarded to Cassini in the pocket. So Heathmont trail by 2 points. The most acute angle you can have on this ground is with Cassini. Looks like is he going to use his right foot? So he's going to banana it. He puts it on, and it comes off square like a big sack of potato. But the other pocket's a mark. So he might get every bit of that. Young deserves this mark because he took it on the chest. He was the only one who read it off the boot, and he was in the pocket to take it just in front of the boundary line. And he deserves a shot at goal, does Young. But we are right behind this. He is on a 45-degree angle, if not worse. And with this shot, wobbly right foot, it's over the post. It drills in. The goal umpire signals a goal. They're ecstatic here at the hangar. The Jets are back in front, 9-9-63 to 9-5-59. It was never inside the post until just at the end. Look at that replay. It curls just inside. And it's a goal to Young, well deserved.
Well, his teammate will be applauding the goal assist there, but you know, I reckon Ryan Young, he felt he was probably owed one from before that when he wasn't paid that mark, and he's converted truly.
9th goal of the year there for Young, and it couldn't come at a more pivotal time now here for the Jets. Here's the tap, one down there by Evans. Loose footy on the deck, plenty of players in there. As you can see, the ground is quite heavy now after that deluge. The rain stopped, and you can see the lightning actually just flashing off there in the distance. So in comes the ball up. Evans managed to get a hand to it. It's picked up here by Knudsen, but stolen here by Kruger. Gets a hand out now here to Adams. He gets tackled, but before he gets his hand pass out now here to Cripps of the Lockie variety. He tips this one over the top. It's almost picked up now here by the Bears. It is so by Kruger. Smothered brilliantly there by Sindri. As trying to get the run of the footy there was Adams. It goes just inside the boundary line. Going back with it here is Lockie's Ferns. Loses his footing. Did well, though, to win the footy and get a hand pass out. Now here to Sindri. Just a little chip around the boundary line, but it doesn't stay in. And we'll have a boundary throw in. So the Bears are looking to answer there straight off the bat. And so let's go to Barry Cotts for a quick score.
Yeah, Glen Waverley Hawks 7-10-52 to Coldstream 5-5-35.
Thanks, Barry. In comes the boundary throw now into the ruck. Roberts wins that tap down, wins the footy again. Picked up in almost here by Kruger. Just paddles it forward and again goes past Ferns. Ferns relinquishes it, but it's come back to Kruger. He gets a quick hand now here to Finley. Chips are high, up and under. Plenty of players flying there and coming down to loose of the ball. Snap off the boot there by Mills, and he's kicked it. The Bears hit the front. It's Mills there off the right boot, snap around the body, and another goal here for the Basin Bears. And they answer straight back, 10-5-65 to Heathmont, 9-9-63. 6.5 gone here, final term, Dan Sensick.
Really smart footy there by Trevor Mills. He didn't go up when the ball was about to be contested. He knew if he'd positioned himself correctly, his teammate would take care of him, palm it down, and he was unmarked as well. So an easy goal in the end.
More scores around the grounds.
Division 4, Eastwood 7-11-53, Sylvan 2-7-19, Forest Hill 9-3-57, Fair Park 5-4-34, White House Pioneers 11-9-75, Nuttawading 4-1-25.
Ball back in the middle of H.E. Parker Reserve. It's goal for goal here now with the Basin back in front. Adams claims the clearance, but he gets tackled off the kick and it goes out wide, but he's got helps with Cripps, who on the run just tries to long hand pass it forward. As he seemed unbalanced, he didn't want to try to kick it. Had Mills in front, but he had to be the tackler, and it's out of bounds at half forward for the Basin. They lead by 2 points. 7.5 minutes gone. Final term. 4th position on the ladder is on the line today. It might be academic when you consider they're probably going to meet in 2 weeks' time in elimination final, but it's a match worth having. And we have a close one today. Boundary throw in goes towards Heathmont's goals, but it's the Basin at the back of back. Picked up by Carlos. He kicks it around the corner to the half forward, but it's all Heathmont, and it's been marked by Knowles. He looks at his options into the corridor. It's a dangerous option, but nearly turned over. Odermatt has to keep it in front of himself. He paddles it to a teammate. Quick kick by Heathmont was a 2-metre one, but it might open for them. Harassment from the Basin keeps it a contested ball, and it'll be another ball up at the centre of the ground. I just think the slippery conditions now are adjusting how they stand up over the ball, as we'll get some more scores just in a moment. Ball up centre of Heathmont Reserve. English gets taken to the ground by Adams, and we'll get more scores around the east.
Yes, and you're talking about a close game here. It's a close game. Doncaster East 7-6-48, Wanturna South 7-4-46, and Roval 12-13-85 to Knox 3-7-25.
Rucks go at it. Slightly forward for Heathmont, but Adams wins it off the ruck contest. He quick kicks the half forward, punch forward, paddled nicely to Cripps' hands. So the Bears are being smart, and that was a good ball. Centering into Mills, sliding into the mark. He's got a Finlay running back towards goal. He's got his opponent out position, but he drops it just as he puts his hands up. And Heathmont will like to concede the ball, but Finlay jumps onto it. It's still a disputed ball. Can Kennedy get it high up and under towards goal? It does go towards goal, but it's a minor score. And geez, some big efforts there. Drop mark by Finlay, and it's now Basin leading by 3 points.
It's desperate stuff, isn't it? And when we spoke to both coaches on pre-game, we said there's no room for ducks and drakes on a day like today, and there's certainly no case of it out here. Both sides going as hard as possible.
Odermatt takes the mark off the restart there from Grierson inside his own 50. And the kick now here from Odermatt. Contested footy. Brown unable to win the football. Hutchinson Drake goes in there. He gets a hand pass forward, looking there for Kruger. Going in solidly there was Stevens. Kruger doing the roving there for the Bears. But it's all locked up. And we'll have a ball up on the far side of the ground. Half forward flank here for the Bears. Let's get some scores from Barry. Maybe not. 10 minutes gone here.
That was a hopeful look
quarter
hand
four.
pass.
Yeah. That was just a kick and hope as he comes to boundary throw. Picked down here by Evans. Kruger doing the roving. Manages just to keep it onside. Gets left boot to ball. Kicks it around the corner. They're looking for Brown. Brown loses his footing and loses the footy over the boundary line. We'll have a ball up. Sorry, boundary throw in. Interesting result. Score out there at Doncaster there, Dan.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, before the game, I always put my hand up when I'm wrong. I thought Donny East would run away with it by 40 points minimum, is what I said. But they're getting a good run for their money by the Devils.
We've got a player down there just off shots. I just can't see who that is.
We do have more scores around the grounds now.
Yeah, just in relation to the Bourne-Blackburn game. Bourne have kicked a few goals, but it's Blackburn 10-12-72 to Bourne 7-14-56.
Still a chance.
Clawing their way back a little. Is it too little, too late? As here comes the ball on the deck. Kruger gets the foot on it. Can't get a clearing kick out. Sheriff did well. Try to paddle it forward now here to Sindri. Good hands by him. And the Jets steam through centre. Here's the kick in towards the direction of Brown. It goes over head. Here's a Brucey. Gets wrapped up by two Bears players. Gets a hand pass out. Odermatt couldn't do much with it. Losing his edge there was Merritt. Oh, and free appeals for a free kick there. I thought there was a pretty good case for it.
And they're going to pay deliberate at local level. That's the time.
Well, that was probably as deliberate as he could get it. But given the conditions and the pressure he was under, I think the umpire thought he'd let it slide.
We all know what he wanted to do, and he got there.
So here comes the boundary throw. Trying to do the roving there was Knowles. He manages to get the ball off the deck. And we got one up high, it looked, but umpire says, I'll have it, fellas.
And with this, if we can get a Bayswater Park Orchard score just to see how that Division 2 game's going, that would be good, because Baldwin-Blackburn's the interesting one in Division 1. Division 2, I reckon Bayswater Park Orchard, a lot of interest in that score line. But here at Heathmont, it's a close one. The home side trails by 3 points, but they'll get a free kick going the way of the leaders in the Basin, and it's in the hands of that very good player in Thompson. So Thompson from half-back, holding the man decision went his way. He kicks it long, ground level roving by Mills. He just can't grip onto the ball, so he kicks it off the ground. He puts it inside 50, 2v1, and Finlay left it behind. And Heathmont, thanks very much, says Ferns, because I was struggling as I trailed towards the ball. And Ferns got some help finally, and they kick outside 50, inside the centre circle. Drop mark, and the conditions are not helping Merritt take the mark there. High up and under. Will it be a claimed mark if it does go in the hands? At ground level, no, it's indiscriminate ball here. And Heathmont, well, a free kick goes the way of Basin just as the Merritt charged out of the contest. And Galante will take a hand pass and kick it to Kruger, boundary side. So on the wing, he's got a short on. Will it get there? Heathmont defenders rush in, bump and spoil all at once. English is the big body. He can't get out of three tacklers' grasps, and his hand pass doesn't reach his teammate. Comes back to him. Kruger takes him on from front position, and it was a funny one. He sort of tackled him over his jumper and just said, I'm hanging on for dear life. You're going nowhere, English. So the umpire will ball it up half forward for the Basin, leading by 3 points, trailed by about 26 in the first term. Surged in the second term, and it's been goal for goal for much of this second half, and it's in the hands, taken nicely, Mark, there by Heathmont in defence. Spearing ball finds Savoury, who drops the ball, so it allows the Basin to put pressure on as they try to get it inside 50. The numbers with Savoury, can he redeem himself? He just clears a hack kick, and it's been marked by Thompson. So it's going to come back inside 50 for the Basin. It's in the middle of the ground, good body position. The Basin uncontested mark in the end. Finlay had all the attention, but the man from the side taking the mark, and the Bears will have a shot at the goal to get what might be their biggest lead of the game.
He's been crucial in this last quarter, Trevor Mills, the captain. He's really stood up, and he's got another opportunity to kick his second goal of the quarter.
So Mills from 30 metres out. Basin lead by 3 points. It's been we haven't seen many set shots converted today. But Mills, the skipper, has no problems kicking it straight through the middle of the goals. And the Basin now lead by 9 points. 11-6-72. Heathmont 9-9-63. 10 minutes gone at final term in this Division 3 round 17 game. More scores around the grounds of the Eastern Footy League.
Yeah, I think you were asking about the Bayswater score. Bayswater 13-11-89 to Park Orchards 4-3-27.
That I think Bayswater are nearly confirming their final spot.
Nearly.
Because there's mathematics that say that.
Right,
But they're beating Park Orchards, their main contender for their spot.
Well, Josh Adams there holding his leg.
Well, that'd be a massive loss if he has to go off the ground for any amount of extended amount of time this quarter, because he has been huge for them in this game.
Indeed he has. Over the top there was a bruisey. Here's Adams. Well, didn't show any signs of it. Well, then he did. He kicks the footy forward, and going back with a flight beautifully there was Knudsen. Plays on quickly. Here come the Jets. The kick out of half back in towards the direction there of McIntosh. Wasn't beaten to it there by Mills. Trying to burst through and give his teammates some assistance. There's Cassini. But the Bears, a good tackle there by Cassini. McIntosh ends up with the footy. Gets the hand pass out now here to Sindri. Shakes one tackle. Goes by the right boot in the direction there of Grierson. It falls short of him. The Bears get it now here through Finlay. Adams pumps one in towards the forward line now here for the Bears. At the back, unable to take that was Kennedy. Good hands there by Knudsen. Out towards his teammate there in the Sheriff. And it goes out now here to Sverns, who swings this one across the face. Straight down the guts there. A Lockie Cripps. And, well, just when you didn't need a mistake like that, the Jets give one, and Cripps is going to go back and maybe kick goal number 4.
Well, a very costly turnover there, just a skill error. He was under pressure and he knew he wanted to hit up Declan in the other pocket, but the kick just miscalculated there, and a real gimme goal coming up for the Basin should he kick it.
Lockie Cripps, 18 on the year through this afternoon, and he's just put the minor score through. And that extends the lead of the Basin nonetheless. The Heathmont Jets 9-9-63. They trail 11-8-74. 11-7-73, excuse me. Here, quarter number 4. Let's go to Barry Cox in the score centre.
Yeah, Division 2, interesting. Wanturna South have hit the front. Wanturna South 8-4-52 to Doncaster 3-7-6-48.
Yeah, cat among the pigeons in that one.
Think of the permutations game.
There's Wanturna South out of the competition, I'm not sure, and Donny East want to try to claim top 2, so that's a big result if it goes against them. The kick out was long, but it didn't clear for Heathmont, so the Basin hold it up. He's still in their forward line, done well for the last 10 minutes. Flying into was a Bruze over the top. Finlay was thereabouts for the Basin, and being pushed off the ball was Galante, as the umpire said, I'm going to ball it up. So it's an interesting position. I think it's a 10-point game at the moment with Basin leading as the scoreboard goes awry at ground level at H.E. Parker. But the players continue to fly in. It's wet conditions now after the rain that fell late in that third term. So another ball up, 50 metres out from the Bears' goal. Rucks go at it. Bruze can't get near it. He sort of shepherded off the ball. Taken without it potentially was Pettigrew. The umpire saw nothing toward go on, and the ball just falls underneath the pack again. We'll have another ball up. So I think you'll have to get decapitated to get a free kick at the moment, because it's such tough conditions. The umpire's giving consideration for efforts, and he's allowed all the players to gingerly get up and clear the area as a ball up, still 50 metres out from goal for the Basin. They're at the back of the pack where the punch went, so it's in the hands of Cripps, who goes wide. Might be the position just to let his player run into the mark, and it does so, and it's Kruger who takes the mark on a very acute angle, but maybe just within range. We know he struggles beyond 45, so that's where he'd have to kick it from.
Well, he's one of the leaders at the Basin, and this is his time to stand up and kick this goal. Kicks it at a 16-point margin, very hard to make up.
So he puts his right leg and heaves it as long as he can. He doesn't get the journey, but Basin have a few grabs at the mark. Heathmont are lucky that they ball just drops in the hand, so to speak, and it's still a contested ball and not out. And finally, the pack take it out of bounds near the post.
So we'll have a boundary throw in deep in the forward pocket here for the Basin. Evans to go into the ruck here against Finlay. Intriguing battle all this afternoon. 10 points the margin here on Radio East at 98.1. In comes the throw. Plenty of players in there scrumming it. as no one could get it out. Or finally, the Jets can. Cassini did well to burst through the pack. Abruzzi now trying to tap this one and keep it in. Abruzzi's done well. Got one up high, and he's won himself a free kick.
He did burrow his head in, didn't he?
Indeed he did, but he's not going to care as this one comes in from the Jets up towards centre wing. One-on-one contest. Odermatt was held. Didn't get a free kick. Play continues. Kick right back in towards the forward line. Almost taking it one-handed there was Spurns. It's Rove well now here from the Jets out to one Pettigrew, who got wrapped up in the tackle. The Jets trying to paddle this one forward. They finally do so. And here comes the kick up towards centre wing in the direction there of Finn Brown. Can't take the mark. Odermatt can't do the roving either. And the Bears come back now here through Mills. He goes by right, kicks it in towards the goal square. Going back there was Finlay, couldn't take the mark. Dowler applies the Shepherd, waiting for his teammate, but he's going to be taken and escorted out of bounds there by Sheriff.
Almost looked like a try, didn't it?
It did. And we're going upstairs to the score review. And 10 points to margin. Let's go to Barry Cots.
Yeah, scores be 12-15, 87 lead Donvale, 7-7, 49.
Thanks, Barry. There's some other Div 3 scores there for you as Finlay just muscled Evans out of the ruck. Play continues, says the umpire, as Cripps was in there. Trying to pick this one up is Kennedy. His kick is kept inside. Trying to take this one on the right. Oh, great tackle applied there by Evans, and he wins the footy. And a good tackle applied there on Jaden Brown. And the Jets, well, we're into time on now here. 21 minutes played, Howard, here at the hangar at H.E. Parker Reserve. And not much on offer, so it looks like he's going to pump this one long down the near side of the ground. Abruzzi, one of the flyers, couldn't take it at the back. The ball's fisted down. Sindri's in there for the Jets. Couldn't take that footy cleanly. In there is Finlay as well. Abruzzi lays a pretty good tackle. Is on him, and we'll have a ball up.
Tough conditions for the players, but still a disputed result. Basin, what a great final quarter. They've extended their 2-point lead to 10 points. Mills kicked the last one, floating in for a mark 30 metres out. And for the last 5 or so minutes, it's been an arm wrestle. Let's get more scores as we go late in all divisions of the Eastern Footy League.
Yeah, very interesting Division 1 game. Bourne 69 trailed Blackburn 78, so only a 9-point difference in the last quarter.
Wow, the permutations are coming back into play as Bourne close in on Blackburn at home in Division 1. Let's keep our eye on that if we can, Barry, as now the ball flies out of the pack and it goes boundary side, and I think the tired bodies around the ground are just happy just to meander their way towards another ball up.
That's a bit of a comedy reel events, turn of
Comedy
events.
capers, wasn't it? But a 10-point margin at the moment. They're going to need 2 goals, Heathmont, in time on, which it's tough conditions at the moment. It looks like a bridge too far at this point.
And it might only be a 26-minute quarter like the last one because we haven't had the goals or not too many out of bounds, really. So I don't think there's been enough stoppages to go long.
They can't seem to get their flowing game going in this last quarter either, because it is a highly congested game at the moment given the conditions.
Have they got an opportunity? It goes off the back of the ruck contest. Abruzzi gets it into the middle corridor, and they've got a runner, have Heathmont. They'll look ahead. Spearing option. Brown was ducking back towards goal, so he's in back position. He spoiled Roberts in the end, and now it's a disputed ball in the middle of H.E. Parker. Basin just paddling in front of themselves. They can't pick it up. Kruger picks it up, but he's tackled, and it's a disputed ball up in the centre of the reserve.
Oh, that was a pivotal moment there for both teams. Let's go to Barry Cots.
Interesting in Division 4, the scene of Pinks Reserve and Kilsyth, they've actually called 3-quarter time due to the bad weather. So Kilsyth 8-7-55 lead, Park 8-5-53, 3-quarter time call due to bad weather.
Thanks, Barry, as we see Evans go off the ground due to the blood rule. So
any excuse just to wind it up, isn't it?
Happy hour end started at 4, so they get off. Here comes the ball up now. Savoury into the ruck, punched over the top though by Roberts, winning that hit out. Doing the roving there is Pettigrew. He couldn't take it clearly. Brown gets sandwiched there between Sheriff and Sindri.
Seriously, Steve, how far is Kilsyth away? I can't even imagine that.
It's just down the road, isn't it? So they must have had lightning or something.
Yeah,
there was lightning before. Yeah, his trying to win that one was Norris, but diving in on the footy, the Basin will have a ball up. So I think that's the first game this year that's been called off to bad weather, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's just 3-quarter time they called, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just called 3-quarter time.
And they'll sit it out for a minute.
Yep, they'll check the conditions and play if they need to.
Thought they'd thrown the towel in already. You're going to run that? No worries. So here comes the ball up. 24.5 minutes played here in time on. And H.E. Parker reserve appeals the throw. Here's Savoury. Marked there by Mills, not taken. As Sindri trying his best to get the footy out, but he's pretty well dealt with there by Galante, and will have a ball up.
It must have looked like multi-ball in a pinball game if they had to get off.
No. Well, what about the cars out there as well?
Yeah.
I hope there's no write-offs.
Insurance claims, yes.
It's a RACV hotline on speed dial. Here's Savoury now trying to win the footy over the top. Kruger gets boots the ball, just goes straight up and down. Norris couldn't get it out, neither could McIntosh there for the Jets. It's really a game of inches there over on that centre wing, as we'll have yet another ball up. And will time be the enemy of the Jets here? As Basin content that this style of this passage of play favours them, certainly. And we have another ball up as Savoury won that tap down. Going back to do it there was McIntosh, and again the Basin just tie it up and wear off another few seconds off the clock.
Josh Adams looks to be all right for the Basin, and we saw him earlier on in this quarter hobbling around and struggling quite a bit, but he's gotten through it.
So another ball up. Slapped forward there by Savoury. And plenty of plays. That's the final siren. The Basin Bears 10-point winners this afternoon over the Jets here at H.E. Parker Reserve.